before we go on, we will be talking about things that are difficult to talk about.
Controversial,
and not our opinion, but the opinions of the people who we are reporting on. So just to be clear, we do not endorse anything that is in these files. We don't want to have to go into terrible depth in them. We're going to try and use euphemisms where we can to spare you the worst of it. So let's talk about what the worst stuff that we pull out of the Epstein emails is, because there's a lot going around, and a lot of it is being interpreted as if it is somehow concrete proof of things, and unfortunately that's not the case. Much of what's going on is actually the allegations that are being made through anonymous tip lines, right? So basically you'll see a lot of things. Unfortunately, Calvin has kind of stumbled into this. As you can see here, the subject is the interview of a purported Epstein victim. So this is someone that is a member of the public that has been interviewed by the FBI in New York that is making claims that are, frankly, a bit outlandish. This is about George H.W. Bush, who would have been very, very old at the time that the allegations are being made. But there are also weird things. He was the victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar but left no scarring. Right, okay. So, probably not true. If your feet are cut with a scimitar, how is that a sacrifice? But anyway, the point is, a lot of this is the really extreme, lurid, vile things that you'll see come from these emails. Now, I
think these are sent after Epstein was already dead as well, August 28, 2019 as well. And you can see, Detective so-and-so, NYPD, Detective Bureau of Child Exploitation, subject interview of a purported Epstein victim. So it's not like these are emails from Epstein saying, here's what I did.
Exactly. And just to be clear, we don't get those, right? We don't get any direct, I have murdered this child or I've raped this girl or something like that, right? Everything is done by implication and innuendo, which we'll go through, but it does give it a sort of conspiratorial aspect to it. But I do think there is something there. For example, this from one cellmate interview, from the cellmate interview regarding Epstein in 2025, there was mention of an orgy with Tony Blair. Now, I don't know. But the point is, this isn't Epstein emailing someone saying, hey, I went to an orgy with Tony Blair, which would be
high-fived.
Which would be far more credible to believe than a cellmate interview alleges this is what Epstein said, and this is being reported by the FBI in New York, right?
Of course, just to say, when a certain mass of allegations reaches a critical point, it does lend an extra weight to what's being said.
Sure.
But we already know that Epstein was involved in a load of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So just like, this is the 24th of July last year, some guy adding one little bit extra on top, we can't verify it.
Exactly. We can't verify any of this, and it's a lot of the time just coming from people who themselves aren't necessarily subject to privileged information, right? It could just be some sort of rando off the street making lunatic allegations about George H.W. Bush, or just some guy, a prisoner in a cell with Epstein saying, oh yeah, he had an orgy with Tony Blair or whatever. It's like, okay, what do I do with that information? Is that true or not? And then you've got the Trump ones, which you'll see around a lot, because, in fact, I don't know if I'm going to put it on the screen like that, because it is pretty horrific stuff. But they're horrific allegations that I'm not going to read verbatim because they're just awful. But then you'll see lots of people posting underneath. The complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate incidents involving police which requested mandatory psychiatric evaluations. As in, the person is making insane claims about how Donald Trump has raped and tortured girls, but it's just a claim that was made to the FBI, and the FBI have looked into it and they've said, no, this person appears to be nuts. So, and again, this is all coming after Trump's presidential bids, and so there are political reasons, etc., etc. So I'm not saying that Trump or Bill Gates or whoever, Tony Blair, I'm not saying they haven't done anything. What I'm saying is we don't have proof of that from the Epstein files. Right? This is
That's not what the files actually demonstrate.
That's not what they actually demonstrate.
There are allegations that are crazy. There are questions.
Yeah.
We don't know, but we're in a state right now where essentially any level of depravity by the elites sounds plausible.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you told your normie friends that this is actually very plausible or somewhat plausible, you sound like a lunatic. We're in this weird space right now. We're in this information miasma right now where, because of all of these political connections and financial connections that Epstein maintained after his conviction, because of the fact that these people were kind of competing to go to his parties, because he obviously could introduce you to literally anyone, anywhere in the world, anything done by people in power sounds somewhat believable, but the files don't actually prove anything at that stage. They prove that this network exists. They prove that these business connections are real. They prove that the elites operate in these circles and don't mind Epstein being convicted of trafficking minors, but they don't prove specific allegations against specific individuals.
Correct. And there's no reason to think that we would have got these things out of them either. It's unlikely that they're going to say, yes, I took that 12-year-old and I did X, Y, and Z, in their emails. I mean, they're evil, not stupid. Right?
Yes.
Maybe there is that evidence in the other, half of the files that haven't been sent, but we don't.
I mean, it might still be just buried in the 3 million that are there.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? But this is what we've got so far. So anyway, you've got these extremely wild allegations that the authorities haven't taken seriously. You've got the emails. Epstein had a habit of, he'd obviously sent, because I mean, I've done this before, send an email to someone and then send it to yourself just so you've got a copy of it, right? Mm-hmm. And this is a very personal email, and this is a massive wall of text that Epstein never writes. Epstein very rarely wrote wall of text. Normally it's like 1 or 2 word replies, as in you get the bare minimum just so you know that I've seen it, sort of thing. So he writes, the dear Bill, I can't believe you've ruined our friendship in this way, blah 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 blah. You're ready to discard me and our friendship, and so he was clearly very moved and bothered by this, and this is the Bill Gates STD.
There was one theory that he wrote that on behalf of someone else.
Quite possibly.
To send to Bill Gates, and he sent the draft to himself. We have no idea.
Could be. We don't know, like I said. Anyway, so just previously, none of the files that I have seen go in any way to discredit or disproving anything that we already know, right? So the context in which we get all of this is in the context of him having been jailed for being a child trafficker and soliciting sex from minors, having all of the weird stuff on Little St. James, like the blue and white temple thing that doesn't have a door on it and all this sort of stuff, and clearly being a kind of supplier of these things for what looks like, I don't know.
And as well, just having allegations of abuse for girls as young as some of the ones that I've seen are as young as 11 years old. Yeah,
dozens. I mean, there's women who've said that like he would, sexually assault women 3 times a day, as in he had a regular schedule in which, morning, noon, and night he would be doing these things and stuff like that. So it's like all of these things outside of the emails, I've got no reason to disbelieve. Nothing's disproven, but nothing concrete from his actual words confirms any of this. However, so let's get into the things that are speculative. And I just want to be very clear, I don't have any context for these things. They're just weird things to have said, right? So, I mean, there's this one where I don't know who's replying to, because of course it's redacted, and I don't know what the circumstance they have, but I give you permission to kill him is apparently with X. He lied to you and he lied to me. It's like, okay, is that serious? Do we know?
That's pretty suggestive of something serious. It sounds serious.
Is Epstein the sort of person who'd be able to get someone killed?
Probably.
Well, that's the point, right? So it's a bit of a weird thing. And then you have the allegation of, again, this is one of those ones where it's not Epstein sending it. It's part of the investigation. But an allegation that Maxwell had recruited a girl for a modeling career, which is the way that she used to recruit these girls and then groom them into the network, that the victims of Epstein. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture, and then Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and forced me to force her murder. So again, no proof that that's true, but these are the sorts of things that are floating around this, right? And so when you put it in the sort of, okay, well, this is Epstein's words himself, who knows, right? Then you've got a lot of references to torture, actually. You can see Epstein at the bottom there, because of the way that emails work, for any Zoomers who don't know, is that the newer ones are at the top and the old ones are at the bottom, unlike in a regular sort of DMing conversation. He says, "Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. I'm in China," and then hope to see you. So whoever he's responding to, it's like, "I loved the torture video." That's
by the way, those dates match trips by Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair though, that doesn't necessarily say that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But the dates of when, China and then U.S. visits do match Netanyahu visits. Yeah. Is it Netanyahu? Do we know? We don't know.
Yeah. And then whoever Martin Nowak is, our spy was captured after completing a mission. Jeffrey Epstein says, "Did you torture her?" Martin Nowak's a Harvard professor. Did you torture her? Again, no context, no idea. Just saying there's a lot of references to torture. As Alex Jones points out, there is a kind of Pizzagate-y vibe to a lot of what's going on. Here, you can see a video had been sent, if you're not too busy, from someone else who we don't know. And then Epstein says, "I watched them all, please don't send any more. Sorry, I have no stomach for even the slightest. Aggro, I don't have the stomach for it or for any drama, imaginary or real. I'm still fragile off the last one and scared of shadows." Again, I don't know who that is.
This is from Ghislaine.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, GMAX. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So I don't know what they've sent, but that's weird, right? There's something
like for her to feel upset and not have the stomach for it. Kind of suggests a certain bar.
Right. So I don't know who sent the original thing, but yeah, it's Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah. So again, I have no idea. There are a lot of strange pictures which are gross. Really gross. Again, it's kind of, in fact, sorry, before we get to those, we'll get to a few of the other emails that Alex Jones has got. There's a lot of what I think is evidently coded language. Chinese cookie, pizza and grape soda is a catchphrase that him and a guy called Harry Fish use over and over. Now, I'm not saying that means something. It's just weird, and it kind of has that, because it's such a specific catchphrase that's being used. It's really weird. And then you got it's just like with the Hillary Clinton, the Podesta emails, where it's like they talk about pizza in a way that just you couldn't use in a context for pizza. You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza. It's like, what are you talking about? She looks pregnant. It's who knows, right? Who knows? I want to let you know the crew really appreciate it today. Thank you for letting us do that. What? They talk about these things in very, very strange ways. So then, it goes on, right? So, and anyway, then you've got the sort of weird photos, again, very Podesta-esque, where it's like he's got the pictures of the young girls being tormented or tortured or whatever in a swimming pool or something like that. It was
Podesta's brother who had the Jeffrey Dahmer sculpture, wasn't it?
Yes, the flipped over body one, yeah. But it was John Podesta who had the sort of abused children on the walls image, and this has got echoes of that, which is just horrific, frankly. And this is from his New York house, the same one where he had Bill Clinton in the blue dress. And yeah, there's loads of mentions of food in weird contexts in specific ways, which is weird. And then you've got this one from a woman called Susan Hamblin, who apparently is the founder of an adoption charity, asking if he needed any new steaks for his island because he only had 2 left. It's like, right. Would Epstein ever... Epstein, when he died, right, I remember looking through all of the stuff in 2019. He had $600 million plus in assets and $60 million in liquid capital in his accounts. He doesn't deal with his own food. Right?
There's a
he doesn't deal with food.
For his servants, detailing what shopping they should do.
Yeah.
And how they should maintain the properties and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that just stinks to high heaven.
Exactly. You currently have 2 steaks left on the island. Would you like new ones? I'll be sending for muffins down with it. Look, man. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but I can't help but feel there's a lot of coded language being used here. It's just really weird. Anyway, which one was this one?
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. There was something
today.
Harry Fish again.
Oh, I think this was.
You want a Woody dinner tonight?
Oh, yeah. No, this was a different bit. I should have given it to you. Don't worry. It's still, don't get me wrong, it's still weird and gross. But, oh yeah, pizza and great, like, literally, after talking about the Sultan wants to replace Bionic Dick with a new Swiss version, wants a different surgeon. The Joker had nope, Goyim. Pizza and grape soda tomorrow for lunch. Like, just what a weirdly specific thing to say, right? It's very, very strange. I don't get it. And then you've got here, I'm still waiting and watching melted cheese drip. It's like, okay, that's, again, feels like coded language.
Yeah, a text message sent from a BlackBerry contact named Torture visible, and on what appears to be a Skype call.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like I said, can't prove anything. And these people are smart enough to use innuendo when they do these things. And then you've got whoever Peggy Siegel is emailing
one of his assistants, I believe.
I assume so.
Yep.
Basically, on the plane to Kenya. In Kenya, can I bring a little baby back for your 2 boys or girls? So Madonna. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, Matty the princess.
I don't know.
Might be.
That might be just a joking reference to Madonna and others getting designer African children to show off in the media. It might be
completely possible. So who knows? Like, just it, But this is the kind of thing that has come out of it. So it's not any direct references to, yes, we got this girl and we did X, Y, and Z to her. You're not going to get that out of this, or at least so far we haven't got that out of this. And I don't think we need to understand that these people are going to be talking in coded language, and there is, we already know what the
huge level of depravity involved.
So,
well, one of the annoying,
can I get the mouse?
Disappointments from this is all of these extra files that they say that they haven't released. They say are videos, and one of the reasons that they say that they haven't released it is because of the shocking and illegal content that's in them. Now, that's completely fair not to release the videos.
Then you have to release the description.
But yes, just tell us if there are any horrifying, compromising videos that feature well-known politicians or anybody of note, of interest, anybody powerful, doing immoral, illegal, heinous acts in them. Just tell us. We don't need to see the videos.
I mean, wasn't Little St. James completely wired up with cameras? Right?
I mean, all of these sorts of places.
All those residences were wired up.
Yeah.
If P. Diddy can wire his entire mansion with mansions, then Jeffrey Epstein is going to do that and more.
Exactly.
So there are going to be gigabytes, terabytes of recordings of these places.
And these need to be revealed.
And I mean, and like I said,
not sort of published online, but there have to be transcripts, there have to be details.
Massive blocked out images or something.
Exactly.
Just so you can see, like, Bill Clinton's face or whatever. That's fine. I don't want to see any of the things, but, like, we know that it's there.
Yeah.